Our diet has to be made up of plants that are natural and nutrient rich. That's the secret to a long life. It's not that complicated. You're eating foods that are naturally low in nutrients, and they occupy space in the stomach. In order to have gained weight to become overweight, you couldn't have eaten natural foods like that. You have to be eating oil and sweets and sugar and flour and high glycemic carbohydrates and animal products, because you can't fit that many vegetables and fruits into your stomach without you getting full. And then it shuts down the appestat. You only probably get like 400 calories in per meal. You start to get full, and you're not supposed to eat till you're full anyway. Push yourself away from the table, stand up and say, do I feel anything there? Let me ask you a question over here. How's your liver feeling today? How about your kidney? How's your pancreas doing? Fine, okay, good. Here's the thing. You shouldn't know you have a stomach. You shouldn't feel your stomach. You shouldn't be aware of your internal organs. They should always feel the same. You shouldn't eat till you're uncomfortable and know your stomach's distended and uncomfortable. You shouldn't be getting reflux and lying in bed at night and having food you can't roll over on your stomach because the food comes out of your mouth and you're spitting up acid. It's crazy. These humans are nuts. Instead of the fastest foods, you go to the slowest foods. Beans are the slowest carbohydrate because they have the most slowly digestible carbohydrates. And they're the food with the highest amount of fiber and resistant starch. And the word resistant starch means those carbohydrates are resistant to enzymatic degradation, which means they're not even going to be broken down into carbohydrate. Some of the starch in beans get fermented by bacteria into fat. The starch is changed into fat. But the bacteria break down the starch and turn it into fat so far down in the digestive tract, towards the distal end of the small intestines and the proximal part of the large intestines, that 90% of those calories turned into fat pass through into the toilet bowl and don't get absorbed. So a certain percent of the calories in beans don't even come inside of you. They pass through you and increasing the stool fat. And more fat in the stool means less fat on you. Because the beans ratcheted down your appestat by those 200 calories, and you felt like not eating those more calories, and they were digested so slowly that it made you not hungry the whole rest of the day, but you never even got all those calories into you. Some of them were stolen away in the toilet. It's naturally caloric restriction. And nuts, the same thing. When you eat nuts and seeds, they bind fat. And they bind fat through those sterols and stanols, pulling fat out into the toilet bowl. So not all the fat calories in nuts and seeds get absorbed. Some of them pass through into the toilet bowl. Yes, you felt like you ate 200 calories. You stopped eating. Your appestat was ratcheted down by 200 calories, but you didn't even get all those 200 calories into you. And because those oil calories or those fat calories were absorbed so slowly, there was no revving up of fat storage hormones, and as nut and seed calories are absorbed so slowly, the body can preferentially burn them for energy instead of storing them as fat. If you have a flood of calories coming in the bloodstream, the body doesn't tolerate all those calories in the bloodstream. It has to store it as fat. All the glucose comes, it has to store it, right? But when they're coming in slowly, the body burns it for energy.